Uh, All three commissioners are present. It was properly posted on April 14th, and District 1 will lead us in prayer and pledge.
Okay. Do we have LaDonna here? She will lead us in prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please come up to the microphone? Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of both April 8th and April 10th?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to, is there any change to the blanket? Nope. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the blanket?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Blanket's number 2, right? Okay.
I did.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, is there a motion to approve the claims?
Motion to approve claims, items 4 through 16.
No, claims is number 3.
Oh, sorry.
That's good.
Oh, sorry. Just looking at consent.
Second.
Something's not happening on our buttons here. Okay. And now, is there any individual consideration on the consent docket?
Motion to approve claims, items 4 through 16. Or consent, sorry.
Did you hit your button?
Yep.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have with us today the folks from the Arts Festival to make a presentation.
Of the 2026 Festival of the Arts, which is going to be held next week downtown in Bicentennial Park from the 23rd to the 26th. First of all, we want to make sure you all understand you're invited to join us on stage for the opening ceremonies at 11 o'clock on Wednesday morning, the 23rd. And we are also going to be presenting you with a copy of our featured artist this year. Greg Irway is a local artist. He is going to be in his 3rd year of festivals. Oh, no worries. I could have just talked louder. Good morning again. Greg Irway is our featured artist. This is called Tender Season, and we're particularly proud of it considering we are celebrating our 60th anniversary at Festival. And this is such a wonderful representation of what Oklahoma City looks like in the spring. We have a scissortail flycatcher and blooming redbuds, which is just such a classic rite of spring. So 60 years, again, I said, very excited. So many stories. I'm sure all of you have been there. And it is something that is so important to our community. People come from everywhere to join us for pottery, for eating, for performing arts. And 60 years is a special time for us. So Richard is going to talk.
Good morning. I'm Richard Forsey. I'm one of the co-chairs and excited to be part of this 60th festival. Just briefly, just a few fun facts about this year's festival. We'll have over 150 juried artists in the program from 30 different states, and 85 of those artists will be new for the first time this year. We'll have more than 100 performing artists on 2 stages, and we'll have more than 33 culinary artists that'll offer up all kinds of wonderful food for everyone. One other little fact, I'm told that we will have 180,000 pounds of steel in this year's festival and well over 15,000 zip ties. So we are zip tied together, but we know how to build a tent over here. So anyway, we do welcome you all to be there as part of the opening ceremony, and all of you are certainly welcome to attend the festival. So thank you.
Congratulations on your 60th year.
Thank you.
You want to take a picture with these folks?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you so much.
We'll do 2 students. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
And they have already kindly presented the poster, which will add to our collection on the wall, and we will move to receive that. So thank you again for always sharing it with us and brightening up our courthouse. Is there a motion to receive their commemorative poster?
Motion to receive.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you again, all of you, for being here. We have a number of speakers signed up for the next item, so we'll start with Sean Cummings.
Good morning, everybody. Now, Brian, you and I have been at each other for about 6 years now on money, the jail, all this other stuff. So I'm gonna put the jail into kind of a realistic family perspective for everybody. So the jail and the jail trust and the behavior of the county commissioners are all like a drug addict. And we need to have a little sit down with them and go, they're eating up all the money, they're taking in all the money. Any extra money that came through ends up at the jail. The new jail gets a land deal that's shady as hell. You don't have enough money to build it. You said you wanted $260 million to fix a jail, which you didn't fix. Nobody knows where the money is. You're still trying to get $1 billion for the new jail. And then you've got some good things now because $14 million went missing. I'd like Marissa Treat to come in and explain where that was and who made the decision to hold that money back. So now we're on this scramble to cut stuff. Do we still need to cut stuff, or did the 14 million solve it? And why did 14 million go missing and nobody noticed? I'm very concerned. We need a forensic audit on this county and on where that money went, and on the jail and on the jail trust. And you guys don't want to spend money on it? Well, you just found 14 million, you have it. So don't tell me you don't have the money. When Kevin Calvi was here, money was getting moved from place to place and blessed funds and all this other crap. It's been going on for 6 years. This isn't new. So you got plenty of people here to talk about programs you're cutting, some of which are designed to not have people end up in jail. So maybe we start moving to the front end of keeping people out of jail, as Mark Falk says every single meeting, and you don't do it. Instead of cutting that, throwing more money at the drug addict who we already know is just going to eat it up until they suck everybody dry. At the end of this, you're going to have $1 billion jail unbuilt. This same jail you could have put the money into and fixed, but yet you've chosen not to do anything. This is such a level of incompetence, it's scary. And you're the only one that's been here since the start. Everybody else kind of gets a pass. You were here for the gerrymandering that created this fiasco where we can't get either one of these seats done, and he's in for life if he wants to stay. The whole thing is a clusterfuck from start to finish, and you've been part of it. So when are you going to accept responsibility for your part in this and fix it? Thank you.
Bonnie, is it Schwamp?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any prepared remarks, but I wanted to tell you my experience with Extension. My mother was a home demonstration agent in Payne County back in the 1960s. I'm 73 years old, and Extension has been a part of my life all of those years. When I was a kid, the only thing that I wanted to do was to be old enough to join the 4-H club. I was in 4-H club for as long as I possibly could be. That's what taught me public speaking. That's what taught me how to sew, how to cook, how to preserve vegetables and fruits safely. Um, I made tremendous friends. Losing the extension office would be a huge tragedy. This is the largest county population, and it would be the only county in Oklahoma that doesn't have an extension office. The 73% cut is, you might as well just keep all of it, because that will effectively close the extension office. So I'm here asking you to fully support, fully fund the Oklahoma County Extension Office so that we can maintain this program that services many people in our county, that not only helps people but also brings in additional money. We have matching grants. It brings in as much or more money than is actually spent, and it serves so many people. Food is provided for the food bank, fresh food. I can't tell you all the things that are available because there's just so many. It's impossible to go through it, and I'll leave it to some of the other speakers. And as I said, I really appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I certainly hope that you will fully support the county extension office.
Thank you. Dandy Alexander.
Hi, good morning. In 2004, I joined the Beckham County 4-H Club, where I served as the reporter and secretary for the next couple of years. My time quickly became centered around a variety of the club's programs, to include a professional etiquette and a public speaking class and competition that not only set me up for success during my college years at SWASU, but also gave me the courage and the competency to speak here to you today. It is a great honor for me to stand before you 22 years later, still a part of an extension-led program, this time as the current president of their Master Gardeners, a volunteer organization of over 200 active members. In addition to overseeing this program, Extension serves to foster our community through a variety of partnerships and educational opportunities. The impact of Extension services can be seen within our Scissortail, Edmond, and Eastside farmers markets, the libraries all throughout our county, which serve to host us as we provide these classes to our community, our 4-H programs, their summer camps, and all of the educational exhibits at the Oklahoma County and our state fairs, landscapes at Will Rogers Garden, the myriad botanical gardens, the demonstration and teaching gardens at the County Extension Office, the National Cowboy Museum, grade school community gardens all around Oklahoma County, which are run by our junior master gardeners, the Community Giving Garden, which partners with Lowe's and Minnick Materials and provides food for the health department's mobile market and local food banks, and various other landscapes around the city. Food and harvest preservation, co-parenting, chicken and beekeeping, and composting and water conservation are all classes that are offered by Extension. And additionally, soil and water testing, to include well water testing, and on-site OSU research-based guidance for local and urban farms, fields, livestock, and irrigation are provided, typically free or at very low cost to our community members. Losing these services would be catastrophic, and I urge you to reconsider cutting the funding to Extension, as it provides such an abundance of resources to our county, improving the overall health, safety, and well-being of the children and adults of our cities. I am also a resident of Midwest City, So thank you, Commissioner Lowe, for hearing all of us these last few weeks. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Ellen Harmon.
Hello, and thank you for letting us speak today. I am a certified master gardener, and we're hoping that our funding is not cut for the next fiscal year. The extension offers so many different services, wellness, consumer sciences, gardening and agriculture. Some of the classes are court-ordered, co-parenting. Who will be doing these if you close down the extension? These classes help to support the citizens of Oklahoma County and reduce the jail population. We educate, volunteers put in thousands of hours every year growing vegetables to donate to the food banks. We would like to be fully supported. Thank you very much.
Thelma McLean.
Good morning. I am a resident of District 2. Good morning, Mr. Mon. I am a master gardener and have been involved with the Extension Services for the last 5 years. The Extension Service would be cut by 73% if you do not fund it if you follow that funding recommendation in the new budget. That will basically gut our Extension Services in Oklahoma County because we operate on such a small budget, $550,000 from the county. That is nothing for the amount of return you get on investment. We have volunteers who, at the most conservative number, double that figure. It could be much more. Research is still ongoing, but that is the minimum. Extension Services offer so many opportunities for volunteers that then reach out into the communities. We are not over there in the extension office all the time. We are out in our schools, working with churches, working with community gardens, working with urban farms, all of whom are working to create opportunities to learn how to grow fresh produce, which we desperately need, especially in our food deserts. But everybody needs it because we don't always get the best produce here in the middle of the country. Extension offices were created to bring university-level research knowledge into communities, and we are a conduit for OSU's research and publications to the public. We explain those. I volunteer in our Master Gardener Resource Center, which answers all kinds of questions as people are having lots of different challenges keeping their landscapes that they already have because they die in our extreme climate, and people do not have all the information they need to take care of them. So they put in beautiful trees that die. Sometimes wasting thousands of dollars, and it also loses that shade that we don't have, which is a big issue right now because of climate change, and our cities get hotter and hotter. And am I out of time?
Go ahead if you need to wrap up.
Okay. I just want to say that our staff is fantastic. They are tiny. And we hope that you will fully fund our extension services for the next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Pam Dowd.
Hello. Thank you for letting us speak. When I retired from practicing law in October of 2016, I was looking for something I could do to volunteer to help make my community better. I'd done a lot of stuff as a lawyer. I was looking for something different. And as I grew up gardening with my mother and my grandparents, I thought that was a perfect thing to do. Little did I know when I became a master gardener what all the extension brings to the county, to the community. You wouldn't have the beautiful Will Rogers Gardens if it weren't for master gardeners. They put in hours over there. One of our members started the memory garden over there uh, in honor of patients who have Alzheimer's and for people who do not need sensory touch of items. All that's done by gardeners, by master gardeners. All the maintenance of the garden is done by master gardeners. I have worked there. I've worked the zoo. I've worked at many different places around the city doing beautification, but the thing I'm most proud of is working in the community vegetable garden. Northeast Oklahoma City is a food desert. And now with the possibility of Homeland closing, it will be even more so. We have provided thousands of vegetables, like 5,000 a couple years ago, pounds of vegetables to food pantries and such over there to help remedy that situation. I've also answered calls from people who need insects identified, diseases identified, and it's not just local homeowners. It's agriculture, farmers. They come in there, when I work there, they come in every day, get soil tested and questions on that age. We help them with water conservation issues, which is a big deal right now. We help them with all kinds of things of that nature. And then you've got the 4-H. You've got co-parenting classes. You've got all kinds of classes that reach out to members of the community that wouldn't get served any other way. I ask that you fully fund the extension, because if you don't, with our $500,000 operating budget, we lose the building we're in, and then we could not have the call center. We could not have Master Gardener classes. We wouldn't be able to do this stuff. There wouldn't be any space for it. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you fully support the extension.
Victor Martin.
Good morning. Thank you for having this time to share our views with you all. I had a beautiful AI written little speech, but I just want to talk just very shortly about these cuts you're proposing. These draconian cuts, 73%. It will shut down. We will have an empty building out there. Probably turn it into another prison, unfortunately. But I just want to think, there's things I never thought I'd use extension for, like water conservation. I live here in the city, but I have cut my water bill down by 50% by the different programs, the suggestions I had. You can always look at AI and try to get something, but half the time doesn't work for Oklahoma. And I would just really wish you guys to look at the fact that this is a very small drop in the bucket of your budget. And it improves so many lives. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mason Huddleston. Mason Huddleston.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I actually work for OSU Extension. I am one of the people that would be affected, but I don't want to talk about myself today. I want to talk about the coworkers that I work with. We provide so many services for this community. Julia Laughlin, she is our horticulturalist. She has worked in this county and for OSU for 40 years. She has provided excellent horticultural knowledge to the residents of Oklahoma County, as well as new students coming out of OSU OKC when she worked there. She has provided excellent resources for people to be able to grow fruit trees, for people to grow vegetables. We have Taylor Connor, who then takes the knowledge that she has as a dietitian And she then further tells people, okay, you grew tomatoes in your garden. Let's teach you how to preserve those safely so that you don't create botulism, so that you don't accidentally poison your friends and family or yourself. We have Lisa Hamlin, who goes to the prison about every week and teaches the prisoners who are about to be released how to be good parents, how to adjust back to real life, and to treat their children with the respect they deserve. We have Andrew Fleet, who's a water conservationist who helps people save water. He helps test water for livestock to make sure that the livestock that we in this room consume are having good water to drink so that they are healthy, so that the food we eat is healthy. We have three 4-H educators, a mental health youth specialist who goes not only this county, but all around the state to make sure that our youth have the ability to express themselves so that they don't go into the hole like so many other youth and myself that struggle with depression and anxiety. Our other 4-H educators go to schools and teach them how to do public speaking, how to get scholarships for college. One of our 4-H educators here actually had a full ride because of the 4-H program that she was a part of. Finally, what I do is I help farmers, not only in the city, but in rural areas, where I help test their soil so that the food that they're growing can grow at the best of the ability to make money for the farmers, but to produce food for our communities. I also help manage a community garden so that community members in this county that don't have the space to produce their own food have the ability to produce good vegetables for themselves and their families. Food is medicine. And furthermore, the master gardeners on the other side of that giving garden over the last 2 years produce over 5,000 pounds of produce to give to our food banks so that those that can't afford food have the access to clean, healthy, fresh produce for not only them, but their families. Thank you for your time. Please fully support Extension.
Thank you. Deidre Amon.
Good morning, and can you hear me?
Yeah, grab that. There you go. He was a little tall.
Good morning, and thank you for having the time for us to express our opinions today. When I first heard of the news of the budget cuts, I simply sat and cried. I have not been involved in the Master Gardener program as long as many of the other ones that are sitting here today. I've only been a member of it for 4 years because I've only lived in Oklahoma for 5. But I can tell you that it's made a difference in my life. And I've paid it forward in working many hours at the call center. The calls that we receive in that location are so important. And as it's been said before, there are businesses that call in, there are homeowners that call in. I was sitting there one afternoon and this gentleman brought in a limb from tree, and he is a horse farmer, and he wasn't sure what variety of tree it was, and he wanted to make sure, since it was reachable by his horses, if it would be safe for his horses to consume. And as we put our heads together, because there's several of us working in the call center, we realized that it was a poisonous variety for his livestock. So he immediately made an arrangement to house his horses somewhere else until he could rectify that situation. Not all of the calls that we get are that life-changing, but for people who have invested time and money in their landscaping, it's very important to them. I work with the pollinator garden that's part of the community garden, and some people think, well, maybe that's just for butterflies. But with the honeybees and the pollinators that are attracted by that as part of our community garden have helped our community garden to be more successful and produce even more pounds of food for our food banks. With the 63rd Street area being such a food desert, the food that we provide from our center is just so very important. There are many other services that are provided through this, but I'll leave that to other speakers to address. But the Master Gardener program is one that's near and dear to my heart, and I hope you consider to fully support the Extension Office as it houses that important group. Thank you.
David Kasserman.
I'm not going to say good morning because I'm not glad I'm here. I had scheduled today to several master gardeners to go view a conference center in your district. We'd been invited to host the statewide master conference where approximately 500 people would come in, rent hotel rooms, meals, etc. Because Oklahoma County is considered the program in the state. Now it looks like you're going to just close our doors. Now, I've never been very good at math, even though I did get a doctorate degree from the same school you did. But they didn't teach us math there, did they? Now, I don't know, is it 15 million or 14 million? What's $1 million? It's been sitting there for a year. Now, surely it's been accruing interest. Now, 5%, 15 million would be 750,000. 14 million would be 700,000. Do we even need to be here? The interest alone exceeds the requested amount. So can we all just go do our deal, or are we going to dump it in to the jail? Now, the master gardeners, I think our numbers are around 250. My grown adult children think we just dig in the dirt. I don't like digging in the dirt. We go into schools, we go into libraries, we work with the kids. And because we have varied backgrounds, mine is in law. I've been to the jail many times. Fortunately, I have a pass to get out free. But also, I spent 20 years running political campaigns. Now, it seems like we've got the shortfall covered as far as our extension. I cannot tell you the thousands of hours when I go into these schools. The other 250 members go into the schools, go into the libraries. You know how you solve the problem of the jail? You keep people out of it. And you don't start when they are 18 years old. You start when they're young. And that's what we do. Those little faces, when I show up in a beekeeper suit, we just don't talk about bees. We talk about life. You mentioned in one of your articles that it starts at the kitchen table, correct? Well, it's a little hard to have a discussion at the kitchen table when there's no food on the table. How many tons of food did we, out of our own pockets, contribute? How are we doing on time? Am I out?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, one thing about old people. Some people say I'm old. After I dig in the dirt at my own home all day, I feel kind of old. One thing old people do, when the polls are open, we go vote. Now, right now, according to my children, I dig in the dirt all day. If you take away the extension, you take away our ability, because we can only serve under the extension, even though we're all volunteers. If you take away that extension, We don't have that ability to go into the schools anymore. And so what are we going to do with our time? I never thought I would get back into running political campaigns. But with all the extra time on my hand, I'm going to encourage others to get more involved in county politics. Thank you.
Martha Klutzman.
Thank you for letting us speak this morning, and thank you for putting us to the top of the agenda and not making us wait to the end. I retired from the Oklahoma Attorney General's office 5 years ago. And after I retired, I started becoming involved with the Master Gardener program at the OSU Extension. Now, the Master Gardener program doesn't just take anybody off the street and put them to work. We have to go through training, and the amount of training that we go through demonstrates the dedication that we have. First of all, we go through about 3 months of intensive classroom training. They bring in professors from OSU and different extension educators to educate us on all the different aspects of what we would be dealing with once we become Master Gardeners and work in the Resource Center, which we also call the Call Center. So we go through 3 months of classroom training, and then after that, it's about 6 to 9 months of hands-on training, working in the various gardens and then also in the call center, learning how to deal with the public, how to answer their questions, how to research issues, and respond in person, by email, by phone. But we can't do it on our own. Even though we become certified Master Gardeners, we come from all walks of life. I'm a retired attorney. There's retired doctors, nurses. I think we have a retired probation officer, a retired airline attendant. We come from all over. And so although we're eager, a lot of us have different experiences with our own gardens, we need the educators. We can't do it without them. Julia Laughlin is the horticulture educator. And although I can research issues, we try to provide OSU research-based answers. Although I can research them, I can't answer all the questions without her help, without the assistance of Mason Huddleston or Andrew Fleet. It would be like somebody trying to diagnose their own medical issues. Yes, you can Google it, but it's not the same as going to a doctor. It's just not the same. You don't get as quality of answers, and we wouldn't have the facilities to provide the help that we do. And as volunteers, we extend throughout the community. We live everywhere in the community. I live in Mr. Lowe's district. And so we need the extension. I don't know what I would do without it. It's changed my life, and it's provided me a way to give back to the community that has been so good to me. So thank you for your time, and please fully fund us.
I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Is it Larissa? Larissa, I'm sorry.
Good morning. I'm Larissa Krischel, 4-H parent, volunteer with the Edmund North 4-H Club. Thank you for reading my email, talking to me on the phone, and listening to my brief speech this morning. 4-H was created in 1902 by A.B. Graham, a school superintendent in Ohio, for agricultural science for youth, and quickly spread as a needed program across the nation. The Smith-Lever Act was passed on May 8, 1914, to give federal funding for the creation of county extension offices for community assistance with agriculture, family and consumer sciences, community development, environmental science, along with 4-H youth development. During World War II, Oklahoma Extension offices and 4-H were active in citizenship by raising money for war efforts to purchase B-24 war bombers for Tinker Air Force Base. 4-Hers raised chickens to feed troops with the supervision of Oklahoma Extension offices. In the 1950s, my mom joined a 4-H club that helped take her on college tours, first in her family to gain a college degree, and help her become a teacher at Putnam City Original. She is 87 and still an Oklahoma County 4-H volunteer. I am a second generation 4-H'er who County Extension and 4-H helped with my public speaking project to get my communication degree, work for a welfare to work program, and now front desk at the Oklahoma Bar Association. My two third-generation 4-H children have help from the Oklahoma County Extension and 4-H with public speaking, food science, and entomology. One is a business student at OSU, and one is 4-H youth educating on entomology conservation. Oklahoma County is a growing urban development, and with urban development population, it needs OSU Extension and 4-H and what it can do. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Debbie Bell?
Thank you, Commissioners, for listening to us speak today. I'm here as a longtime supporter of OSU Extension. OSU Extension exists to provide education and improve the lives of Oklahoma. I realize that we are in a tight budget crunch here in Oklahoma County, as is every state in the union. And specifically, we need money for the county jail. People who come from two-parent families with stable lives, who learn good communication skills, leadership skills, and coping skills are less likely to end up incarcerated. I used to teach high school for 20 years, and I taught parenting and child development, food and nutrition, and budgeting. I used to tell my students, you know, people that are in prison are usually not in prison when they come from a two-parent loving family. If they cannot have two parents, they need at least one parent that is loving and supporting. One of our educators, as you have heard, teaches co-parenting through divorce, which is mandated by the courts here in Oklahoma County. She also, as has been mentioned, goes into the prisons and teaches fathers to be better parents when they are released. Every county dollar spent on extension brings in state, federal, grant money, and private funding. We are one of the few programs in the county that, rather than consuming local dollars alone, converts local dollars into outside funding. Eliminating 73% of the budget would eliminate entire programs. It wouldn't just cut back a little bit here and there. It would eliminate them. So which ones do we think we should cut? Family nutrition, which helps reduce, disease. 4-H, that helps with, as we've said, juvenile justice, but also school dropout rates. Kids that are engaged and that have goals in life do not drop out of high school. They don't become some child on the street left to their own devices and end up incarcerated. Please know that Oklahoma County Extension is making a difference in the lives of Oklahomans and in our county. OSU Extension is worth saving. I please respectfully ask for your support in full funding of the Extension service. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it Herman Garcia?
Hi, my name is Herman Garcia. I am here today representing the Urban Mission and in support of the OSU County Extension, hoping that you'll support and fully fund programming. At my time at the Urban Mission, we've grown to serve over 500 families a week through our Food and Resource Center. And while we can provide food to our families, we are always looking at initiatives that help us reduce the line and educate our students, our families on healthy living, nutrition, youth fitness, and there's no other organization that does that better than the OSU County Extension. In my time at the mission, the extension has helped us with both nutrition education and youth fitness through yoga programs, through uh, cooking classes, an assortment of different things. We love working with different organizations, especially because they provide different expertise that we don't have ourselves. The extension office is full of professionals who are invaluable to the work we do. And I think, as you can see today, there's plenty of people who could speak on the importance and impact that the county extension often has. I believe that a reduction in 73% of funding is not a good faith effort to find a solution to the budget crisis. It effectively closes down a whole organization. I challenge you to think of any organization who could lose 73% funding and still keep going. I think just as much as we serve our community, we need members in our community, such as the Extension Office, to help build a safety net for all our citizens. It really is a look into the future, right? Because the work you put in now pays tenfold into the future when it comes to reducing health-related diseases and other things. We ask that, and myself and the members of the Urban Mission ask that you consider fully funding the county extension.
Thank you. Jeff Parker.
Y'all know I hate coming down here, period. Y'all are in a very tough spot. I mean, these are my people too. Interurban. Rural. Well, Edmond, that's not rural, but yes, we got different entities. We're the Fair Board, OSU, we work hand in hand. It's just not right. Yeah, you can make me pay, but don't make these kids pay. Okay? It's the adults. I mean, you know where I stand. We're fighting for fairgrounds. We can remedy a lot of this if you just work with us. Everybody's about cutting money. I know nothing about your personal backgrounds, and I don't care. But just think about what you're doing to the kids. Okay? Thank y'all.
Mark Falk.
First of all, I want to say thank you, not to you, but to the people who came here today, and to the volunteers who make this program what it is, to the employees. I've probably learned as much as you guys have today. But this is what I know. There are 3 levels of planning in government. There's what I would call triage or crisis management, which has to do with the 65 to 70 deaths at that county jail and the horrific condition that it's in. The county commissioners have failed at triage. Then there's the intermediate term solutions, which is how do we fix the jail? How do we create not pouring 500 homeless people into a jail every month? Well, we're still doing that. So obviously the county has failed at that. Finally, there are the long-term solutions that keep this from happening in the future. And what was discussed today is the programs and the things that are done in this community by dedicated volunteers that keep the next generation from ending up homeless, from ending up in jail, from ending up in unsafe conditions. They do far more than I even imagined. But again, this is a crisis of the county government's own making. If you need to tighten belts, tighten your own damn belts. Cut the budgets across the board in this building by 1%, 2%, 5%. Sheriff Johnson said at one of the meetings that, well, if they cut our budget, we have to just buy less pencils. Well, then buy less pencils. It's insane that you've made these people come up here, put fear and anxiety into their hearts over something that has helped our community for decades. It's a failing of leadership. We need a better county government. We need a county government that is responsive to the citizens. I feel like it's safe to say no one will vote for this because it would be political suicide for you to do that. And in worse than that, it would be moral suicide. So I'm going to ask you to go back, sharpen your scalpel, make cuts where cuts can be made within this building. I know that District Attorney Vicki Behenna said, only spend money this year on things that have to do with our statutorial requirements. Meanwhile, we're going to spend, I'm sure, over $20 million to remodel a building for her district attorney's office. At the same time, she is now officed over in Leadership Square with her entire staff, one of the most expensive office spaces in Oklahoma County. So start there. Tell her to cut her budget. Tell the other organizations and any of the offices in here to cut their budget. But don't cut the things that directly help the families, the children, and the people of Oklahoma County.
Carson Potter.
Hi, my name's Carson Potter, and I'm a 9-year member of Oklahoma County 4-H. I am here today to represent the 4-H youth, not just here, but across the entire state of Oklahoma. When 4-Hers travel to events, competitions, and service projects, we represent this county. For many people, we are their first and sometimes only impression of Oklahoma County. What they see are young people who lead, who serve, and who give back. I understand our county is facing a budget crisis. I know difficult decisions have to be made, but a 73% reduction of the OSU extension is not a small adjustment. It would fundamentally change what 4-H looks like in Oklahoma County. Through 4-H, I've personally reached 2,000 youth as a state healthy living ambassador and more than 46,000 people through civic engagement and service projects. The impact didn't happen on its own. It happened because extension educators provided the structure, training, and support behind the scenes. In Oklahoma County alone, 4-H serves hundreds of members, reached thousands more through school programs, and connects youth across both urban and rural communities. Nationally, 4-H youth are twice as likely to make healthy choices and 4 times as likely to give back to their communities. I am one of those statistics. In high school, of over 2,500 students, I was elected as student council as a freshman, one of only 4 students chosen. I have earned that opportunity because of the confidence and communication skills I developed in 4-H. But what matters most is not my story, it is what comes next. I am graduating, I am moving on, I'll be attending Baylor University in the fall, and I couldn't be there without the skills and the scholarships I have earned from 4-H. But my younger brother and thousands of other youth in this county are counting on 4-H to still be here for them. 4-H does not exist without extension. Volunteers and parents are critical, but they cannot replace trained educators. At a 73% cut, this is no longer about reducing a program. It's about whether it can continue to function at all. Extension is not just a budget line. It is an investment that brings resources into our county, builds future leaders, and prevents bigger problems down the road. I ask you to protect that investment, not just for me, but for the future of Oklahoma County. Thank you.
Thank you. Dan Ratcliffe.
Good morning, Commissioners. Like many of these speakers today that have come up here, I'm not really excited about being here either, but I felt compelled to do this, to come up here and speak on my son's behalf and for Oklahoma County 4-H Youth Development Program. I understand that budget decisions have to be made, difficult budget decisions have to be made, but a proposed 73% cut on extension funding, especially to 4-H, just doesn't reduce a program, it risks dismantling something that has been building strong, capable young people in our community. I'm from Choctaw, so Mr. Mon, I'm one of your constituents. This program is personal to me. My son Stuart Ratcliffe is currently involved in 4-H, and because of it, he has gained confidence and become a leader. 4-H has afforded him opportunities that otherwise he would not know have existed. Stuart has had meaningful conversations with representatives at our Capitol. He has worked on a national-wide fundraising campaign for 4-H, and he has spoke on radio shows to over 180,000 people. He has become a leader in his community and a mentor to young members of his local club and county 4-H club. None of this would be possible without our outstanding, dedicated 4-H educators. Witnessing the dedication of our 4-H educators who guide these young people is impressive, to say the least. They have knowledge and experience to bring these opportunities together for our kids. 4-H is more than just clubs and activities. It teaches leadership, responsibility, public speaking, and civic engagement. It gives young people a place to belong, to grow, to learn how to contribute meaningfully to their community. These are not short-term benefits. They are long-term investments in our future of this country. The 4-H motto is to make the best better, and that's exactly what this program does. It takes the potential of our youth and turns it into something real and something lasting. I urge you to reconsider to fully support the extension funding. Our youth are not an expense. They are our greatest asset, and they are an investment into our future. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Jennifer Mayo.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am a resident of District 3. First off, I want to thank Mason. I learned so much more about this organization, so thank you for that. I know it's not my job to explain this public outcry, but I think it's important that we recognize why this situation feels different to people. What's happening right now isn't really about evaluating whether this program is effective or not. It's coming from a much bigger issue. This, which is a level of financial overcommitment the county has taken on without a clear way to support it in the long term. We're looking at over $500 million in overcommitments without a defined funding model or revenue stream to carry both the costs of a new jail and the ongoing operation. The only reason we're talking about this today is because this is purely reactive to poor decision-making that is continuing to snowball. I'm also interested in how closely the 49 pages that you have in front of you today, if they're printed, of the expenses that you have you looked at that closely? Even small things matter in this kind of situation. I'm going to give just a very small example. There's a chair listed on there for $795. On the extension office specifically, we need to acknowledge that there are real outcomes here. I participated in this program growing up, and I currently have a family member's brothers that are in 4-H. But I've also spent years working in nonprofit organizations, and cuts like this will lead to staff reductions and long-term setbacks. It takes a long time for them to start applying for new grants and coming in. It's going to take years to rebuild. So please consider slowing down and reconsider this decision. Thank you.
Shelley Ramsey.
Good morning. I'm Shelley Ramsey. I am the Jones 4-H Club leader, the Oklahoma County Volunteer 4-H president, a member of the Oklahoma County 4-H Foundation, and a third-generation 4-H alumni. So as you can see, this organization means a lot to me. I'm here to talk to you about the Oklahoma County Extension and the 4-H Youth Development Program, that they're not just valuable, but they're essential, and why 73% budget cut would be devastating. These programs are the backbone of education and community development across our state. They don't just serve a small group. They reach thousands of youth families, farmers, and everyday citizens with practical, life-changing knowledge, as you can see by the support today. 4-H, for example, isn't just about agriculture. It teaches leadership, responsibility, public speaking, real-world skills that our schools do not have the time to teach to our students, and they don't have the resources. It prepares young people to become confident, capable adults. Cutting funding at this level would strip away opportunities for students who rely on these programs to succeed. In the past 4 years, my Jones 4-H Club has more than doubled in membership. And this has also been proven to me by our administrators in our school that it also affects their participation in school as well as what they're learning in 4-H. The extension system goes even further. It provides research-based education on health, nutrition, agriculture, and financial literacy, which I think we might need a little bit of today. In rural and urban communities alike, it helps people make better decisions, whether that's managing a farm, feeding a family, or starting a business. These services save money in the long run to prevent problems from happening. A 73% budget cut is doing a little bit more than just tightening the belt. It means eliminating programs, losing educators, leaving communities without support. It means fewer spaces for youth, fewer resources for families, and fewer tools for economic growth. Investing in extension and 4-H is not just an expense. It's a long-term investment in Oklahoma's future. When we support these programs, we support stronger communities, smarter decisions, and a better tomorrow. We cannot afford to lose these programs because it will take years to redevelop what we have accomplished now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. LaDonna?
Good morning, Commissioners. I had something written out that I was going to speak on, but after hearing all this, I just want to thank all the people in the audience that spoke for OSU Extension and 4-H Youth Development. I have a passion to serve and to help people, and I've been doing that for nearly 25 years here with Extension. Been in Oklahoma County for about 22 years, worked with many of you guys, and I just can't even tell you how much I appreciate everyone that has come and just tell your story, because that's what we're all about. We're all about is helping people and making a difference in Oklahoma County residents. So I just ask you guys today to please consider fully funding us so we can continue to reach out and serve Oklahoma County residents and continue to make a difference in our county. Thank you so much.
Galen Mostaller?
I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I am a fourth generation Oklahoma home and community education person. My great grandmother was farmers' wives. My grandmother was a home demonstration through the many name changes we've had. And then my mother was OHCE, and I am also OHCE. I've been a member for over 40 years now. Through the services, you've heard about the 4-H. We are the Oklahoma Home and Community Education. We get lessons each month from the university, OSU University, that brings in research-based programs. It features all areas of it: financing, youth programs, health classes, and nutrition. We take this information out to our communities. We share it with our church groups, with our families, our neighbors, and it's a variety of all kinds of information: how to do financing, how to work with a I lost my thought here. Budget planning, how to estate planning. I mean, when I first started hearing estate planning when I was back in my 20s, I'm thinking, why am I hearing this?
But as my parents became ill, older and deceased, I had to do this estate planning. So I am, in my family, I've made sure all my siblings have their estate planning in order now. And I see people now today that are my age and up have never learned about estate planning. So these are the kind of things we do as we call it, the adult 4-H. Because as adults, unless you go back to college, you really don't get this kind of information and education here alone. So we also work with the county fair. Most people don't even know we have a county fair in Oklahoma County. They think of the state fair, but yet you have to go through a district fair, a county fair, and then you can go to the state fair with our project. Same with 4-H. They have to go up the district level, local level, district level, and then they can go to the state level with their programs and their cattle, their arts and crafts and things like this. We also support a lot of nonprofit organizations. We not only support the extension, but we are a volunteer group. Out of the state of Oklahoma, we turn our volunteer hours in each month to OSU. Out of the state of the host state of Oklahoma, Oklahoma County OHCE women and men are the top volunteer hours in our community by over doubled what some of the other counties have turned in. So we do provide a lot of money in our volunteer hours. I want to hope that you take consideration and fund OHCE, extension with the full amount, please.
Thank you. Claude Bess.
Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you so much for allowing us to have this time. I'm the District Extension Director for Oklahoma State University Extension, so I have 23 counties that I supervise, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. I don't live in Oklahoma County, but what I want to tell you today is how fortunate you are to have the staff that you have here. LaDonna and I, mostly LaDonna, have worked extremely hard to find top flight quality employees for the OSU Extension Office. It's not easy to find those. I feel that we can put this entire staff up against any county in the state and probably any county in the nation from my experience, and I do have, as you can tell, a lot of experience. So I just wanted to mention that we are blessed here in Oklahoma County to have such a competent, hardworking, dedicated staff. And I hope you'll consider funding us at the level where we can maintain our programming. We understand the situation you're in. We also understand that we may be one of the few entities that county government supports that actually has a return on investment. I have research for that. I won't bore you with it, but I can tell you the immediate return on investment that you put into the extension office is roughly 2.35 to 1. And that's very conservative, and that's immediate. It's not long range. You look long range, and that bumps it on up to around $7 or $8 per dollar you invest. There are some research that indicates the public value of extension reaches somewhere around 30%. You get 30% return on each dollar invested. But just wanted to tell you what a great staff you have here and ask for your support. Thank you.
Melanie Zentner.
Hello, my name is Melanie Zentner and I live in Jones, Oklahoma.
I recently completed my PhD in animal science at Oklahoma State University. Research is my calling, but 4-H captured my heart in the 4th grade. Getting to show the countless animals that I loved might have helped with that. Rabbits, breeding sheep, a horse that I fundraised for in middle school. But more importantly, 4-H gave me my first opportunity to travel internationally in the 9th grade to Mongolia on an international exchange trip with 30 other youth. 2 years later, I served as a member of the state 4-H leadership team, and 4-H was instrumental in me receiving 2 scholarships. These covered most of my undergraduate degree expenses, allowing me to achieve my goal of graduating from college with 2 bachelor's degrees debt-free. On a more personal note, my younger brother is on the autism spectrum, and it was my neighbor, local youth extension educator, and countless volunteers hauling me across the nation that made it possible for me to experience all of this in a safe environment, while my parents stayed home to care for my brother. I honestly don't think there's another program like 4-H that could have made all of these experiences possible for me. This last year, I've had the privilege to return to 4-H, serving as a certified volunteer in Oklahoma County. Last weekend, I led a workshop at the Extension Convention Center that was attended by 15 families. This next Thursday, I have my second meeting for my spin club for rabbits. And this evening, I'm on a Zoom call with I think 40 other people to help put together a communications contest at the Great Plains Breeding Sheep Contest this summer in June. I want to make all of these opportunities available to youth and their parents, and I'm just getting started. Investing in 4-H and OSU Extension means supporting the next generation of leaders, employees, and community members. We ask you not to move forward with a reduction of this magnitude, as it would significantly impact our young people and the communities you serve. 4-H develops countless life skills, including leadership, confidence building, and work ethic. Please consider preserving the budget for this program. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Meredith Scott Galicki.
Hello. Thank you for listening to all of us. I am here. I took PTO because I felt like this is very important to talk about. I am a resident of District 2 in southeastern Oklahoma City, and I'm a mom of 2. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. I want them to participate in 4-H one day, but even the resources that OSU Extension provides are real. You can see them every day. Whenever we were looking into, I wanted to have a garden, I was able to call Julia Laughlin and ask questions and get some true resources out. I've seen OSU in action in our communities. We live in a metropolitan area. A lot of our children don't get exposed to agriculture, don't get to see the root system, see a plant be able to grow a radish. And OSU Extension provides that for our children. I've seen it whenever for my daycare, I worked with Julie Laughlin and we were able to start a garden, and having all the little kids out there playing in the dirt, having that experience, that's a foundation that they'll hopefully remember. But if not, it'll be something that will impact we invited parents, their parents didn't have gardens. These are the experiences, especially in Oklahoma County, where you don't have the all-around agricultural exposure, are so valuable. I also feel another important part of Extension is that they bring beauty and use to agriculture. Like the community garden we did at our school, we were able to, pick those tomatoes. Children don't like vegetables sometimes, which is horrible. I wish that wasn't the case, but it's real. And being able to get a child in a garden and then they actually pick it, they all eat it. They want my daughter now. I have to say, don't just eat any leaf. She thinks she loved the taste of mint. And so these are experiences that OSU Extension offers our children that are invaluable. I also want to say that I also see the importance of educating our producers. I know working with some producers in my own career that they don't always know all the details. They want to get into agriculture, but they maybe don't have an agriculture background. And they don't know what's the timing for manure or different things like that. And OSU Extension offers lots of educational classes that help make sure that we are providing the safest and highest quality education to our agriculture producers. So I'm asking that as a mom of two who hope one day be 4-Hers and enjoy all these wonderful programs, that you will fully fund OSU Extension and find the shortcomings of the budget other places. Thank you.
Thank you. Marcus Long.
Good morning, y'all. Just like Meredith, I'm here on PTO. As part of my day job, I work with agriculture all over the state. So that means I visit extension offices all over the state. It's been mentioned a couple times today, but I think it's worth mentioning again that here in Oklahoma County, we have an incredibly unique extension office. We're incredibly lucky to have what I think is the best extension office in the state. I'm not sure what I can say that hasn't already been said, but I hope that this has been a display of a small section of the number of people who are impacted by the extension, and also a small section of the ways that the extension is meeting public needs and filling the gaps where government comes short. I also wanted to add that we've talked about local resources that have been provided, and I think it's worth mentioning too that our local resource then plugs us in to the university, an even greater resource that provides more information, higher level testing, and a greater level of education that is brought to our county through the extension service. You know, without the local extension service, we would lose that tie to the university. That would impact agriculture heavily, but also homeowners. You know, I think it's hard to say how you guys might interpret the impact of extension. Maybe the viewpoint is that this is something for agriculture. We're the most urban county in the state. But at my office and at the extension, you know, we teach that all land requires responsibility and care, that people have to take responsibility for the land they're on. Along with being the most urban county, that likely means we're the most segmented. So that means we have to interact with more people and provide more education to communicate the needs of natural resource management. The last thing I want to say is that natural resource management and land management, it's highly contextual, it's highly nuanced. It's one of the few things that you can't learn everything you need to know by watching YouTube videos. You have to interact with local experts to understand the context of your climate, of your soil, and that is brought largely in part through the extension service, not just to agriculture, but to all landowners, which Oklahoma County has a number of. Thank you all.
Thank you. Are there any others to speak on item 18? Seeing none. Come on, sir.
One question. I wasn't going to speak, but after hearing things, I decided to. Unfortunately, we all know that criminals are takers. You can see these people that came today, and you realize the extension are full of givers, which society benefits from. So my question to you, as far as the extension is concerned, are you going to be takers or are you going to be givers? So that is on your hands and not ours. We did all the best we could with what we had to share, and we're relying on you to make the same good decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any others? Is there discussion on this item? Yes, Brandy, would you clarify a few things on the numbers?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. If you'll indulge me, I would like to provide a couple of clarifications. First of all, this item has been brought to you by the Policy and Governance Committee. And so I apologize. This was actually in the wrong part of the agenda. It should have been under Policy and Governance, not under District 2. So Commissioner Mon, I apologize. Also, I'd like to clarify a couple of the numbers here. According to the budget that the OXU Extension provided the Policy and Governance Committee, they operated on a total budget of $918,000 this fiscal year, and that is a combination of 3 different funding sources. And so just to clarify, Oklahoma County, the funds that we provide is one of the 3 funding sources for OSU Extension. Of which we provide $553,000 this fiscal year. That number is actually 60% of their total budget of $918,000. What we are proposing is to reduce that amount that the county provides to $146,888.80. That will equal 16% of the total budget that they receive. And we came to that number based on some information that our district attorney's office provided, comparing the overall average county contribution to similar programs across the state.
Okay. Thank you for that. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I do.
Mhm.
First of all, thank you all for being here today. I've received your emails, I've received your phone calls, and I know you could be doing some other things today, but you're here. And it shows the importance of OSU Extension and your belief in the program. There's 2 factions here. There's a faction that would like to spend millions and millions of dollars on a jail that is probably never going to be built, or we don't know if it's even going to be built, and hope that we come up with the shortfall, which is almost $800 million out of nowhere, that someone surprisingly comes and saves us and takes no action. Then there's another faction that doesn't realize that we are in a tough situation in Oklahoma County as far as our finances. Our major source of income is property tax. We're under attack from the federal government. We're under attack from the state government. There's bills, there's initiatives that are proposed that will reduce our funding source. A lot of you are not aware that the only major source of income for Oklahoma County is property tax. We are the only county in the state of Oklahoma that does not have a sales tax. I put forth a proposal a couple of months ago that was voted down that would have fully funded OSU Extension. It would have funded programs such as diversion courts, where we could prevent individuals from getting into criminal situations, where we help them on the front end instead of the back end, where we focus on mental health and substance abuse therapy as opposed to on the back end when individuals are incarcerated. It was voted against. It was voted down. So we have to realize that we have to get things done here. And I think at this point in time that moving forward with a cut of this magnitude is way too fast. It's something that we don't need to move forward with. It's a program. This program helps individuals across not only Oklahoma County, I believe the entire state. And I am going to be a no vote on this particular measure. And so I would move a motion to vote no.
Okay.
As Brandy explained, I'm going to give a little bit of background and context to this. So the Policy and Governance Committee makes recommendations to this body. At a Policy and Governance meeting, we were given a presentation that explained that the average county contribution to OSU Extension was 16% of the overall operating budget of OSU Extension, whereas Oklahoma County was giving roughly 60%. This recommendation by P&G and that $146,888.80 brought that in line with what the other counties were giving. Recognize the fact, as Commissioner Lowe said, the other 76 counties have some form of sales tax that helps to contribute to the overall giving of OSU Extension. We are the only county in Oklahoma that does not have a sales tax. So we have to look at fiscal responsibility a lot differently. This recommendation by Policy and Governance was solely based on fiscal responsibility to the taxpayers. However, that being said, ever since Friday, I have received, I can't speak for the other offices, our offices have received countless phone calls and emails, and in my estimation from the ones that we received at our office, over 95% were calling in support of OSU Extension and their full funding. And that being said, one of our duties is also to represent the constituents of Oklahoma County. So given that fact that well over 95% contacted me in support of this, I will second your motion, Commissioner Lowe, to turn this one down and fully fund OSU Extension.
I want to thank everybody who's taken their time, including those that did their PTO time. That's especially sacrificial to be here and share your stories and testimony. We have, as both have indicated, commissioners, that there are tough decisions ahead, and there are going to be proposals brought to you as far as voters go before the end of this year, and you'll get a chance to weigh in on whether or not the county can have additional support that may not make these situations so dire. But having said all of that, I want to say that there's not a doubt in my mind about all of the commitment that you have demonstrated, all of the giving that you do, and all of the impacts that you make. I've experienced it firsthand. Something that you find that somebody said it there towards the end. I don't know what else I could add that hasn't already been said, but I think maybe nobody mentioned the fact that the volunteers work on the cemetery census, which is something I was exposed to through having gone to one of your meetings, and I didn't know about at the time, and it's helped one of my employees identify where her mother's remains were buried. It was contrary to what she was told, and so that was allowing for healing in her family. And so there's one more accolade to what you do. And
She's the one that started that program to get all the cemeteries recognized, and has actually put a book together, and it is at the Oklahoma History Center. And through OHCE, that's what happened, and she just recently passed away. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, well, sorry for our loss, because she made a tremendous contribution. I don't know where all the funding for all these issues are going to come from. And we did find some money, it appears, through the clerk's office discovery of some funds that were not in this fiscal year. It would be applied for the next fiscal year, which is what we're talking about here with this recommendation. However, with all those that are needed, like I believe there's the behavioral care center that wasn't really mentioned today, but also obviously the construction of the new jail. But really these past few months, we've just been zero focused in on the operation and the continuation of the existing jail. And there has been a spike in the arrests. We have no control over the number of people that are brought to us. Others have suggested that maybe there's some nefarious things being done to stack up arrest or whatever, but the county's only responsibility in that is that we have to house whoever's brought to us. We have no role in whether or not we get to take them or not. That's law enforcement in the courts. We've anyway, we have a certain number of detainees that we have to have. So it's an expense, and I appreciate that the Policy and Governance is looking for options to see if there are ways to find efficiencies within. And for those who have suggested, I am bringing a resolution to the Budget Board to see if there are ways to offer a cut across the board to each of our budgets and each of our departments as well. I don't share this as any surprise. People know I've been trying to figure out ways to cut, and this has not come new. This has been a series over the past few years. We've had different departments that have been outsourced or completely eliminated, and the encroachment on this budget strain has grown and grown and grown. That's why we need this sales tax. But there is a motion and a second for this item to be rejected. All in favor say aye, and I'll vote no. All right, thank you all for being here. If you want, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or you can be excused at this time. Item number 19 is for clarity. We have probably no dispute about Paul being already a trustee on this, but I was going to offer for clarification to formally designate Paul Foster as the BOCC member to the County Commission.
And I think Commissioner Foster will do a great job on the trust, and I'm looking forward to seeing his leadership on the trust. But it was very interesting to see, I believe it was this week, that the trust has finally agreed to implement bylaws. I'm grateful for that. That's something that should have been done over 6 years ago. So I'm happy to see that they're moving forward as far as implementing the trust, implementing bylaws, and also implementing a budget. So I second this motion.
Thank you.
Well, I thank you both. And I did attend my first trust meeting on Monday. I thought it was very productive. I also volunteered for, not the bylaws one, but I also volunteered for the Finance Committee, which will oversee the budget and make recommendations to the trust as a whole. So I'm going to do whatever I can to improve the trust, and whatever we can do, will be wonderful, I hope. I also feel that since Mr. Kimmery has come in, I've developed a good working relationship with him, and I intend to work very closely with the whole management staff over at the jail. So I appreciate you both.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you for your willingness to serve. District 3.
This is, item 20 is a specific assistance agreement between the City of Edmond and BOCC for the reconstruction of Midwest Boulevard between Danforth and Covell at a cost of $887,000, of which the City of Edmond will reimburse us 100% of the cost upon completion. So I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye. Item 21 is to appoint Kimberly Zudi as the primary member for the Handbook Committee for the remainder of the calendar year. I'll move that as well.
He doesn't like you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jessica.
Morning, Commissioners. Number 22 is an addendum to an existing ARPA project for Restore OKC. I'm requesting approval for an increase of $43,000 from $250,000 to $293,000. Goes in line with today's conversation. It's an operational build out for the market at Restore Farms in order to provide healthy food access for a hub in Northeast Oklahoma City. These funds will be used to purchase farm equipment for production, agriculture processes, and related initiatives. And this is a D3 project, or D1, yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Barnes.
Good morning, Commissioners. This item is to approve bringing in 2 additional volunteers. The Citizen Volunteer Team is a very important resource for our office. particularly in times of disaster. When the EOC is activated, we utilize these folks to supplement our staff. They provide a great deal of function. We've kind of changed the direction of this program in recent years. We now actively recruit skill sets as opposed to just anybody that wants to come along and become a warm body, fog a mirror in the office. And these two folks represent significant skill sets that I hope you will approve today.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I would like to thank you for the work that you do. Amazing. I
you.
saw you on the news a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week. Great job.
Thank you.
A lot of people are not aware of the work that we do as far as the weather and so forth. And so I want to thank you, and I second this motion.
Thank you.
Our thanks to these two citizens.
Thank
All in
you.
favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thanks for waiting. Engineering.
Now, these two items come to us from our bridge inspection firm. Item 24 is a bridge in District 3. They offer a service while they're doing an assessment to determine if we can save the substructure and only replace the deck on this bridge, or if we have to do a complete replacement of this bridge. So this is for $15,471 for that assessment from our bridge inspection team. Motion to approve.
When you say an assessment, that just for them just to take a look at whether we need to move forward with repairs?
Well, it's a deep dive. And during their inspection, they do an overall look at a bridge and give it a rating and so forth. And this one's kind of a borderline. Does it need a total replacement, or is the substructure good enough to where we can just replace the deck, which would be much cheaper for us, and get another 30, 40 years out of that bridge?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And then item 25, they did just a routine inspection on one of our bridges in District 3. There were no deficiencies found. This inspection's paid for by ODOT. They just want a report of conference from you guys that you signed off that you saw the results.
Good news.
Motion approved.
A teaching moment for me. How do we determine whether ODOT pays or we pay as far as for the assessment? What makes that determination?
The National Bridge Inventory System set up a program years ago, and they basically fund the original inspections of all the bridges and then ongoing inspections. If we want to do anything above and beyond that, we have to pick it up, like that $15,000 from the previous item. And then any design work, we pretty much have to pay for that. But when we get to actual construction, there's a funding formula where we can match federal funds.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Brad?
Good morning. This item is for a motor vehicle accident involving a juvenile vehicle that was totaled in January. This is a settlement for your consideration, the amount of $4,780.65. The reason that the item is worded the way that it is the item was provided to the Juvenile Bureau by the Sheriff's Office, and at the Juvenile Bureau's insistence, they would like the Sheriff to have the funds. So, any questions?
I assume that's not objectionable to the Sheriff.
As far as I know, it's not.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Well, you got a motion that somebody.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning again. So the following items, 27 through 30, I have the honor in order to discuss with you today. These were discussed in policy and governance several weeks ago. This is the hard work of our HR and safety department, putting together programs to improve Oklahoma County. So number 27 is discussion and action regarding FY26 and FY27 longevity program that was developed in order to foster a culture of appreciation and increase employee retention, to provide an implementation of a structured longevity program by celebrating milestones of 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, to appreciate institutional knowledge and loyalty that Oklahoma County employees provide. And so this is a new program that we're looking at doing. This is not an increase to the current budget. This is something that we have adjusted within the existing budget in order to be able to provide $5,750 to purchase supplies, a certificate of recognition, and to be able to catch up our one-time at anniversaries, to include several that are celebrating 44 or 45 years of
Service.
Service, yes, thank
Okay.
you, service here at the county.
Is there a motion?
A motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And so number 28 is an employee appreciation program. In the past, we have provided a program where the commissioners recognize employees for their work here at the county. As we have further evaluated that program, we're not reaching as many employees that we would like to in regards to appreciation. The current return on investment for this is only about 14%. And what we're proposing is creating an employee appreciation that is well-intentioned and creates an environment that we leave high-performing teams feeling that they're recognized for their different work that they do throughout the year. And so this will be handled by the HR department. We are looking for a $5,000 investment in order to recognize the entire BOCC workforce, approximately 175 employees. This is not an increase to the budget. We currently budget $3,000 in General Government 110 in order to provide employee appreciation. We are asking that that gets shifted to next year's budget for HR, since that is where it's handled. And then in policy and governance, they approved us to use $2,000 of the tuition reimbursement program, which we'll discuss in another item, to be able to fund that fully at $5,000. So no increase to the budget, just transferring funds from one general government budget to the next for next FY.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you. And then number 29 follows the discussion that you just had in number 26. We recognize that we do not have any internal processes in regards to standard operating procedures for Oklahoma County subrogation. And so since Brad is already currently handling our incidents and any type of damage, property damage that we currently have, and he has 15 plus years of experience both in work comp and segregation, we worked with him in order to put together a program so that we can handle this moving forward and request reimbursement at BOCC.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
And then number 30 is the tuition reimbursement program. Over the year that I have worked with the HR department, regarding this program, we have realized that we needed to update the forms and the processes and procedures of handling this great program in order to recognize employees and reimburse them for their continued education. And so the HR team put together a process and procedure in order to improve these forms. And then we also requested in policy and governance to continue to fund it, to move those funds from General Government 110 into the HR safety budget, since that is where it's handled. We did discuss decreasing it by $2,000 to fully fund the employee appreciation program, and that was approved at that meeting.
Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you
Cody?
for your support.
Good morning, Commissioners. The agenda item before you here is just a renewal of the lease agreement. We have an extremely valuable relationship between Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office and Oklahoma County and Metro Tech. They provide space. We lease it for $1 a year, and that's where we have our 911 center. So we moved in last year. It's been a great relationship, and we are looking to extend that into the next fiscal year.
Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry for your having to wait so long. Is there any commissioner comments, District 1?
No comment.
3?
Yes, I'd like to wish condolences and prayers to the family of Colonel Gerald Wright. He passed away on Sunday at the age of 89 years old. He was a superintendent for Oklahoma County Highway District 3 for 16 years.
And formerly a District 3 Chief Deputy at one time. He was who I started with under my career when I began in Oklahoma County as an employee for District 3, and is generally regarded as the gold standard for building roads and for running a superintendent. My superintendent said, starting underneath him, that he thought maybe he was the meanest guy he had ever served under, until now that he is superintendent and he appreciates all the discipline and instruction he learned from Colonel Wright. So his legacy lives on, and I'm eternally grateful for what he did. After I became elected, he came out of and helped me get started with a road plan, so he will be missed. Is there any new business or other citizens to speak? If not, can we go into executive session?
Motion to recess into executive session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, is there a motion to return to regular session?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay,
Give it a
one of
vote.
you hit your button. There you go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, action on the remaining item.
Motion to appoint John Wilkerson as interim HR director with a stipend of $1,000 a month above and beyond his current salary. Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, Mr. Wilkerson, for your willingness to serve. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Still not getting it.
There we go. Everybody in?
No.
You're in?
No.
No?
It's not going up right. Need some help. It's not working right for me. God, I'm not getting the right deal.
Oh, good. You're in. Okay. Are we ready? All right. John Pettis, Brian Mon, Paul Foster present to call to order the PBA meeting. It was properly posted on April 14th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 8th?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Monroe.
Item 3 is a progressive payment to Lingo Construction out of PBA 2024 bonds in the amount of $185,317.90.
This is for the column repairs.
This is for their ongoing construction in the Investors Capitol building. We've not moved on column repairs yet.
Okay. Motion approved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all cash fund appropriations to fund for the fourth quarter of this fiscal year those PBA properties, if you'd like to take them collectively, or we can discuss them individually if you prefer.
Let's take them together. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve items 4 through 8. And second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry for your delay today. Is there any citizen participation or board comments or new business? Seeing none, hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned. And second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.